My name is Rapper. We're still reading the Quran. Number 10. Allah made it not but good tidings, and so that your hearts would be assured thereby, and victory is not but from Allah. Indeed, Allah is exalted in might and wise. Number 11. Remember when He overwhelmed you with drowsiness, giving security from Him, and sent down upon you from the sky rain by which to purify you and remove from you the evil suggestions of Satan, and to make steadfast your hearts and plant firmly thereby your feet. Number 12. Remember when your Lord inspired to the angels, I am with you, so strengthen those who have believed. I will cast terror into the hearts through those who disbelieve, so strike them upon the necks and strike from them every fingertip. Number 13. That is because they opposed Allah and His messenger. And whoever opposes Allah and His messenger, indeed Allah is severe in penalty. Number 14. That is yours, so taste it. And indeed for the disbelievers is the punishment of the fire. Number 15. Oh, you have believed. When you meet those who disbelieve advancing in battle, do not turn to them your backs in flight. Number 16. And whoever turns his back to them on such a day, unless swerving as a strategy for war or joining another company, has certainly returned with anger upon him from Allah, and his refuge is hell, and wretched is the destination. Number 17. And you did not kill them, but it was Allah who killed them. And you threw not, O Muhammad, when you threw, but it was Allah who threw, that He might test the believers with a good test. Indeed, Allah is hearing and knowing. Footnotes. By which they grasp and manipulate their weapons, also interpreted as all extremities, i.e. their hands and feet, i.e. your strength was insufficient to overcome them, but Allah supported you and gave you victory. When the Prophet threw a handful of dust into the faces of disbelievers, Allah caused it to fill the eyes and nose of every soldier, preventing their advance, so that they would appreciate Allah's favor for them. Number 18. That is so, and also that Allah will weaken the plot of the disbelievers. Number 19. If you disbelievers seek the decision, i.e. victory, the decision, i.e. defeat, has come to you. And if you desist from hostilities, it is best for you. But if you return to war, we will return, and never will you be availed by your large company at all, even if it should increase, and that is because Allah is with the believers. Number 20. Oh, you have believed, obey Allah and His messenger. Do not turn from Him while you hear His order. Number 21. And do not be like those who say, we have heard, while they do not hear. Number 22. Indeed, the worst of living creatures in the sight of Allah are the deaf and dumb who do not use reason, i.e. the disbelievers. 23. Had Allah known any good in them, He would have made them hear. And if He had made them hear, they would still have turned away while they were refusing. Number 24. Oh, you have believed, respond to Allah and to the messenger when He calls you to that which gives you life, and know that Allah intervenes between a man and his heart, and that to Him you will be gathered. And fear a trial with which will not strike those who have wronged among you exclusively, and know that Allah is severe in penalty. 26. And remember when you were few and oppressed in the land, fearing that people might abduct you, but He sheltered you, supported you with His victory, and provided you with good things, that you might be grateful. Number 27. Oh, you have believed, do not betray Allah and messenger, or betray your trust while you know the consequences. Footnotes. I.e. an affliction or punishment during life upon this earth. When corruption spreads among a people, its consequences will affect everyone. Number 28. And know that your properties and your children are but a trial, and that Allah is with a great reward. 29. O you who have believed, if you fear Allah, He will grant you a criterion and will remove from you your misdeeds and forgive you, and Allah is the possessor of great bounty. 30. And remember, O Muhammad, when those who disbelieve plotted against you to restrain you or kill you or evict you from Mecca, but they planned, and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. 31. And when our verses are recited to him, they say, we have heard. If we failed, we could say something like this. This is not but legends of the former peoples. 32. And remember when they said, O Muhammad, if this should be the truth from you, then rain down upon us stones from the sky, or bring us a painful punishment. 33. But Allah would not punish them while you, O Muhammad, are among them, and Allah would not punish them while they seek forgiveness. 34. But why should Allah not punish them while they obstruct people from Al-Mazid, Al-Haram, and they were not fit to be its guardians? Its true guardians are not but the righteous, but most of them do not know. 35. And their prayer at house, i.e. the Kaaba, was not except whistling and hand clapping. So taste the punishment for what you disbelieve. i.e. practice or deviations. 36. Indeed, those who disbelieve spend their wealth to avert people from the way of Allah. So they will spend it, then it will be for them a source of regret. Then they will be overcome, and those who have disbelieved unto hell they will be gathered. Footnotes. By which to judge between truth and falsehood, also interpreted as a way of difficulties. 37. It is so that Allah may distinguish the wicked from the good and place the wicked, some of them upon others, and heap them all together and put them into hell. It is those who are the losers. 38. Say to those who have disbelieved that if they cease, what has previously occurred will be forgiven for them. But if they return to hostility, then the precedent of the former rebellious peoples is already taking place. 39. And fight against them until there is no fitna, and until the religion, i.e. worship, all of it is for Allah. And if they cease, then indeed Allah is seeing what they do. 40. But if they turn away, then know that Allah is your protector. Excellent is the protector, and excellent is the helper. 41. And know that anything you obtain of war booty, then indeed for Allah is 1/5 of it, and for the messenger, and for his near relatives, and the orphans, the needy, and the stranded traveler. If you have believed in Allah, and in the which we sent down to our servant on the day of criterion, i.e. decisive encounter, the day when the two armies met at Badr, and Allah over all things competent. 42. Remember when you were on the near side of the valley and they were on the farther side, and the caravan was lower in position than you? If you had made an appointment to meet, you would have missed the appointment. But it was so that Allah might accomplish the matter already destined, that those who perished through disbelief would perish upon evidence. Footnotes. This is a warning. The punishment is always the result of rebelling against Allah and his messengers. Persecution. See footnote to 2:191, i.e. until polytheism is no longer dominant, to be spit in Allah's cause. The tribes of Banu Hashim and Banu Muttalib, who were not eligible for zakah. The remaining 4/5 are divided from among the soldiers, Prophet Muhammad. And those who lived in faith would live upon evidence. Indeed, Allah is hearing and knowing. 43. Remember, O Muhammad, when Allah showed them to you in your dream as few, and if he had shown them to you as many, you, the believers, would have lost courage and would have disputed in the matter of whether to fight. But Allah saved you from that. Indeed, he is knowing of that within the breast. 44. And remember when he showed them to you, when you met a few in your eyes, and he made you appear as a few in their eyes, so that Allah might accomplish a matter already destined, and to Allah are the matters returned. 45. And you who have believed, when you encounter a company from the enemy forces, stand firm and remember Allah much, that you may be successful. 46. And obey Allah and his messenger, and do not dispute, and thus lose courage, and then your strength would depart. And be patient, indeed Allah is with the patient. 47. And do not be like those who came forth from their homes insolently, and to be seen by people, and avert them from the way of Allah, and Allah is encompassing of what they do. 48. And remember when Satan made their deeds pleasing to them, and said, no one can overcome you today from among the people, and indeed I am your protector. But when the two armies sided each other, he turned on his heels and said, indeed I am disassociated from you. Indeed I see what you do not see. Indeed I fear Allah, and Allah is severe in penalty. 49. Remember when the hypocrites and those in whose hearts was disease, i.e. arrogance and disbelief, said their religion has deluded those Muslims, but whoever relies upon Allah, then indeed Allah is exalted in might and wise. 50. And if you could see when the angels take the souls of these. Footnotes. In knowledge, see footnote 219. Who disbelieve, they are striking their faces in their backs and saying, taste the punishment of the burning fire. 51. That is, for your hands have put forth of evil, because Allah is not ever unjust to his servants. 52. There is like the custom of the people of Pharaoh and of those before them. They disbelieved in the sight of Allah, so Allah sees them for their sins. Indeed, Allah is powerful and severe in penalty. 53. That is because Allah would not change the favor which he had bestowed upon a people until they change what is within themselves. And indeed, Allah is hearing and knowing. 54. There is, like the custom of the people of Pharaoh and of those before them. They denied the signs of the Lord, so we destroyed them from their sins, and we drowned the people of Pharaoh, and all of them were wrongdoers. 55. Indeed, the worst of living creatures in the sight of Allah are those who have disbelieved, and they will not even ever believe. 56. The ones whom you made a treaty but then break their pledge every time and they do not fear Allah. 57. So if you, O Muhammad, gain dominance over them in war, disperse by means of them those behind them that perhaps they will be reminded. 58. If you have reason to fear from a people betrayal, throw their treaty back to them, putting you on equal terms. Indeed, Allah does not like traitors. Footnotes. This sentence is left incomplete for additional effects. Its conclusion is left to the imagination of the reader or listener and estimated as you would see a dreadful sight, i.e., kill them and make an example of them to discourage those who follow them. When you see the signs of treachery from those with whom you have made a treaty, announce to them its dissolution so that they will know exactly where they stand. 59. And let not those who disbelieve think they will escape. Indeed, they will not cause failure to Allah. 60. And prepare against them whatever you are able to power of steeds of war, by which you may terrify the enemy of Allah and your enemy and others beside them, whom you do not know, but whom Allah knows. And whatever you spend in the cause of Allah will be fully repaid to you, and you will not be wronged. 61. And if they incline to peace, then incline to it also, and rely upon Allah. And it is He who is hearing and knowing. 62. But if they intend to deceive you, then sufficient for you is Allah. It is He who supported you with His help and with the believers. 63. And brought together their hearts. If you had spent all that is in the earth, you could have brought their hearts together, but Allah brought them together. Indeed, He is exalted in might and wise. 64. O Prophet, sufficient for you is Allah, and for whoever follows you of the believers. 65. O Prophet, urge the believers to battle. If there are among you 20 who are steadfast, they will overcome 200. And if there are among you 100 who are steadfast, they will overcome 1,000 of those who have disbelieved, because they were people who do not understand. 66. Now Allah has lightened the hardship for you, and He knows that among you is weakness. So if there are from you 100 who are steadfast, they will overcome 200. And if there are among you 1,000, they will overcome 2,000 by permission of Allah, and Allah is with the steadfast. 67. It is not for a prophet to have captives of war until he inflicts a massacre upon Allah's enemies in the land. You, i.e., some Muslims, desire the commodities of this world, but footnotes, or equipment which serves the same purpose, i.e., material benefits such as the ransom paid for prisoners. Allah desires for you the hereafter, and Allah is exalted, might, and wise. 68. If not for a decree from Allah that preceded, you would have been touched for what you took by a great punishment. 69. So consume what you have taken of war booty as being lawful and good, and fear Allah. Indeed, Allah is forgiving and merciful. 70. O Prophet, say to whoever is in your hands of the captives, if Allah knows any good in your hearts, He will give you something better than what is taken from you, and He will forgive you, and Allah is forgiving and merciful. 71. But if they intend to betray you, then they have already betrayed Allah before, and He empowered you over them, and Allah is knowing and wise. 72. Indeed, those who have believed and immigrated and fought with their wealth and lives in the cause of Allah, and those who gave shelter and aided, they are allies of one another. But those who believed and did not immigrate, for you there is no support of them until they immigrate. And if they seek help of you for the religion, then you must help, except the people between themselves and whom is a treaty. And Allah is seeing of what you do. 73. And those who disbelieved are allies of one another. If you do not do so, i.e., ally yourselves with other believers, there will be fitna, i.e., disbelief and oppression on the earth and great corruption. 74. But those who have believed and immigrated and fought in the cause of Allah, and those who gave shelter and aided, it is they who are the believers truly. For them is forgiveness and noble provision. Footnotes. 3 interpretations of the decree are given: that by which the companions of battle were forgiven, that by which the indeliberate errors in judgment by believers are not punished, and that which lawful the spoils of war. 75. And those who have believed after initial immigration and immigrated and fought with you, they are of you, but those of blood relationship are more entitled to their inheritance in the decree of Allah. Indeed, Allah is knowing of all things. Footnotes. This applies to Muslim relatives only. Others may be given by request. See 4:11. We've made it to another surah. We're at Surah at-Tawbah. Number 1. This is a declaration of disassociation from Allah and His messengers to those who have made a treaty among the polytheists. 2. So travel freely, O disbelievers, throughout the land during 4 months, but know that you cannot cause failure to Allah and that Allah will disgrace the disbelievers. 3. And it is an announcement from Allah and His messengers to the people on the day of greater pilgrimage that Allah is disassociated from the disbelievers, and so is His messenger. So if you repent, that is best for you. But if you turn away, then know that you will not cause failure to Allah, and give tidings to those who disbelieve of a painful punishment. 4. Accepted are those with whom you made a treaty among the polytheists, and they have not been deficient towards you in anything or supported anyone against you, so complete for them their treaty until their term is ended. Indeed, Allah loves the righteous who fear Him. 5. And when the inviolable months have passed, then kill the polytheists wherever you find them, and capture them and besiege them, and sit and wait for them at every place of ambush. But if they should repent, establish prayer, and give zakah, let them go on their way. Indeed, Allah is forgiving and merciful. 6. And if any one of the polytheists seeks your protection, then grant him protection so that he may hear the words of Allah. Footnotes. Taba, repentance. This surah is also known as Bareh, meaning disassociation, freedom, release, or immunity. The words Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim were not revealed at the beginning of the surah, but who had violated it. Hajj, Umrah is the lesser pilgrimage, i.e. you cannot escape this punishment. The 4 months mentioned in verse 2, in which the disbelievers were allowed free movement within the land, other scholars have interpreted them as the sacred months, i.e. Muharram, Rajab, Dhul Qa'dah, and Dhul Hijjah. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.